Hey guys, this is Heather Hope. Before we jump into the video, I wanted to remind you that coaching is now available. I took off about a year and a half from coaching and I came back stronger than ever, knowing so much more. But throughout this video, you'll see on the screen the options that I have for coaching. Right now I have email coaching and I do have private coaching for those who really want to have that support right next to you, really bashing your limiting beliefs, really digging into digging into all of your stuff, and not in a bad way, but in a very, very, very good way that will help you manifest a lot faster. So check that out. Everything is in the description box as well. You can email me to get more information or to sign up. And I am going to be opening up a VIP group very, very soon, and I will let you know. So on to the video. Hey guys, it's Heather Hope again. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I wanted to remind you of something. Whatever you think is going to happen is what is going to happen. So when you think something's going to happen and then you're right, you're like, I knew that was going to happen, right? Take a look at that. That's an assumption, correct? Assumption, belief, whatever you want to call it, but let's just call it an assumption, right? Well, it's kind of a knowing, right? It's kind of like, I knew that was going to happen. Whatever you think is going to happen is most likely what is going to happen. Did you catch that? Whatever you think is going to happen is probably going to happen. Like, chances are it's going to happen that way. So how do we manifest the things that we want when we think certain things are going to happen? We have to change the story of what we think is going to happen. And so it's like going against the grain, it feels like it's going upstream to change that story, to change that assumption of what's going to happen. You have to change the story. You have to, because so often the things that we think are going to happen, usually when we think it's going to happen a certain way, it's because it's the negative way, and that's how we have been living, right? So next time you catch yourself, and especially after it happens, you're like, I knew it was going to happen that way. I just knew that it was going to do that, or that person was going to say that, or that person was going to whatever. I just knew it. And tell me how many times it's positive. Tell me how many times it's not something you wanted. Okay, so let's move it to where there's more positive things happening in our lives consistently by changing the story. We've been talking about stories and imagination and the things that we assume, right? So we have to start assuming that everything's going right. And that is the work. That's the mindset work that I put myself through every day. As soon as I wake up, I actually get kind of excited. When I first wake up in the morning, I'm like, I don't know if I want to wake up yet. And then I realize, oh, well, Heather, if you get up now, you can go into your office, you can grab your book of creation, my creation book, and spend like a half hour at least getting into a really, really high flying place. And I love that feeling. Like I can conquer the world because I put myself into that God state of who I am. Who am I? I'm God. I'm the God of my reality. Lately, I've been affirming I'm the God of my reality and the goddess of their reality, of all the men in my life and all the people in my life, really. But, so I get myself into that state of like, yes, I've got this. I've got everything I wanted. And I'm like super high, super high for quite a while. So assume the best. Assume the best thing is going to happen. Start affirming for, only the greatest things come into my life. Only good things happen to me. Only the greatest ideas come to me. Only, good news comes to me. Only the best. I deserve the best. Only the best comes to me. So when you're worried about something and you're thinking, you know how something is going to go, change the story. Just start affirming, like, I only get the best. I only receive the best news. I only, right? Or I always get good news. I always, and affirm that throughout the day. When you're worried about something, affirm it. Affirm it. Say, no, I am God. And because I'm God, I always get the best. Things always work out in my favor immediately. Why? Because I'm God. Why? Because that's what I want. Why? Because that's what I desire. Why? That's why. It's because I'm worthy of that. Whatever it is. So remind yourself, yes, I am going to start assuming the very best results. I'm going to start assuming that because you create your own reality, that you're going to start creating the reality that you really want instead of the reality of that you keep assuming is happening, right? It's just changing those assumptions to, no, I get what I want. And the more you the more you affirm that throughout the day, so you're creating your own thoughts. So instead of having your mind just wander with thoughts and who knows what's coming up, and then you start spiraling because you let your mind wander, one thing leads to another and now you're worried again. The more you keep deliberately choosing your own thoughts, as in affirmations, as in just these statements that you can repeat all day long, a whole bunch of them. You can repeat as many as you want all day long until you are getting your manifestations in line with the thoughts that you're creating. So there's your reminder for today. Start assuming the very best for your life. Start assuming that everything is rigged in your favor. Start assuming that you get to have every single thing that you want. You just have to focus your thoughts in that direction. That's it. You don't even have to believe it. You just have to focus your thoughts in that direction consistently, and you'll get it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Focus your thoughts consistently. And then you can play around with imagination. You can play around with imaginal acts. You can play around with all of Neville's stuff with sats at night, getting into, that state akin to sleep, the meditative state or whatever, and have imaginal acts. You can play around with all these other things to make things feel real. It's really about not, that you don't have to believe it so much as you want it to kind of feel real at times. The more you can make it feel like your real life, the more that you're just going to shift into that reality. Okay, guys, I will be back again soon, and have an amazing day. Bye.